Good morning. Good morning. So this morning we got a little bit of action this morning. MEGL up 379%. What? That's kind of crazy. And also not only that, top went up to $200 yesterday. I was in aftermarket. I was like, this is insane. That's true manipulation. That thing just because of an article, kind of like what we saw with the HKD. I think that was it HDK or something like that. It was an article circulating, and this thing went from 50 cents up to $400. Insanity, insanity. Anyway, other than that, we do have where's the we have SIEB up here with 50%, AGBA 82%, um WLGS and CJH up all of those are up above 20%. So we'll see which one becomes the winner. Of course, the volume is in MEGL with 17 million shares traded right now. So very, very hot looking Friday. Maybe a lot of scalp potential. I don't know if I'll get any chance to buy any lows, but because a lot of times when there's like big gaps like this, buying the dip on them when they're falling is kind of dangerous. Um, because of the probability that they go down more than I expect is very, very real. Especially something that's up 300, 400%. When it drops, sometimes they go into halts down and things like that. So buying a dip, I have to be very, very careful on those dip trades on those types. Anyway, let's jump over here to Street Smart Edge. Street Smart Edge. And look at some of these that I brought over. Let me make sure I got them all. MEGL, SIEB, AGBA, WLGS, TCJH, and top and CFRX. Okay, so let's look at some of these lower time frame intraday frame charts. So the 4 hours starting there, MEGL hit a high of 610. You see a little bit of resistance there. Looking back a little bit, let's see. It reached that point before back here in coming into October of last year. 614. Actually, let's go back to the daily chart. That would be a lot better. So, looking at the daily chart on TOS, let me close this, zoom in a little bit. We can see that it had a nice little gap up back here on this day, rode down to the 93 cents, and really doesn't have a lot of news or anything, just popped up to 460 now. So 460 is above all of this. Let me zoom back just a bit. Man, this thing's, I wish I could zoom. Okay, there it is. 460. So not a lot of obvious points of where it could go. Just been flat looking for the most part. Go down here. 460. $8. Okay, so first we need to find where the 460 is. There's the 460. That's where it is right now. It has another top up here at the 8s, but I don't know where it's gonna go. It's already up 300%. Good morning, Lori Lee. Already up 300%, so I don't know how much more running. And we have seen in like top yesterday did a major move in aftermarket. So aftermarket has caught some heat, pre-market has caught some heat. So intraday may be a little bit slower as things cycle out. I don't expect intraday to be super hot. I expect some of the shorts to come in and try to get some Friday gains because they know Friday is usually a sell-off day. But with all of these high percent gainers, you never know, especially with top going up with little to no reasoning. It had an article circulating, but man, that article must have been something sweet about China. But let's jump over here to SIEB. Look for some levels here as well. Or look over here, SIEB. There's another one up 46%. So it is up to 291. 291. Does it have any obvious levels? Yep. That's what I was thinking, Lori. It's just a big bag holders type convention. Um, I just don't know how big of the trap or how big traps will be, but I do know with all these halts up, there's probably gonna be some halts down, especially on top. Top coming back down from $200. Well, it might have went up to 300. I don't know. Coming down from somewhere like that all the way back down to $77. I'm thinking that can definitely halt down. I'll be very careful on some of these. But top only has 1 million shares. It had lower volume yesterday, and I wasn't touching that thing. I wasn't trading an article news, trying to buy a dip on that. And then it was halting like all day. Not my type of movement. Let me see. Does any of these have actual news on the day? MEGL, not really. SIEB, shares of low floats, trading higher above average. They announced an agreement to issue shares to Sierbert, to Coca Pay, whatever that is. I don't know what that is. AGBA of 72%. No, see, these things are missing catalysts. Like, what in the world? Why? WLGS up 30%, missing catalyst. TCJH missing oh my. So yeah, I'm definitely gonna let this thing play out and see what's going on, because MEGL is still up 400% right now, and all of these are missing the catalyst. SIEB has a little bit of catalyst. All these other ones though have nothing. And so I'm just going to be in observation right now. Jump back over here to Street Smart Edge. So I did actually take a trade yesterday. I traded a low float that was getting a lot of volume, and I think I have a great solution for my trading. So my trades are green. I'm getting green trades. My only issue is taking the profit when I see it. That's it. That's the only issue. Because I'm like, okay, maybe I should hold a little bit more. They can go higher. I'm already above my break even. I got my stop at break even. It's a green trade no matter what. But I have to take profit, right? So yesterday I got into a trade. I traded CFRX here. And I was watching CFRX, and it started to kind of hold around, and you can kind of see it on the 15-minute really good. Started holding around this 225-ish level. Just holding. I jumped in here with 2,000 shares at my average price was 224, 223-ish. This was the first trade that I got in, right around 221. So I wanted to buy as close as to 220 as possible. So I come down, hit this little streak through the 211s and jumped all the way back up here. And I was like, ooh, that was a big pop up. Somebody big is entering. And so on this next one, I saw it drop down. I was like, okay, well, I want to see it hold this level right here. If it can hold this, I'll give it a try. And so it came back down to the 220s, and this is where I started adding at the 220 right here. Added 1,000, and then I added another 1,000 before it started to get back over the 220. It popped up with me, right? So I'm holding 2,000 shares here. It comes back up here to the 30s, and I'm just holding. Came up here to the 236, came up here to the 246, and I was just holding. I was up like around $400, and I was like, man, I don't know if I want to take it. It may not come back down to 220. It may just grind up. But on the flip side, I was looking at the competition on the day. I saw top even though it had lower volume, it had a huge percentage gain. So I was like, okay, if I was a trader opening up my scans right now, where will my eyes flow, right? If I'm looking at top percent gainers, if I'm trying to do research on top percent gainers because I've maybe missed the opening, and so I'm like, okay, what's still up, right? So with that mindset, I was like, man, maybe I should take profit, maybe whatever. But at this point, when it was up here, I had already moved my stop up above my break even. I had moved it up here to like right at the 230s, right? And so my stop, I entered at 221, and it was above 230. I said if it breaks down 230, I'll just stop out. And so that's what happened. I got stopped out there at the 230, right? Then I did something different that I haven't been doing. I re-entered. So after this drop, after I saw it come back down here and hold this level again of the 211s, I said, ooh, that looks okay. That may be something that I want to try. And so I saw it come down here to 212s here. And I got back in right here at the 212 here. Right at the end of this, I saw some sizes come in around the 211 level. And I got back in smaller size. I had less capital to trade. So not a 2,000 share. Got in 980 shares around this level, and it just grinded. And then it finally gave this pop up here back to the 235s. I was like, okay, things have been ripping today. Maybe this will be the rip that I'm looking for. At this point, I already had my stop out at 213 or whatnot. And I was like, where does this thing want to go? And it grinded, and I held through all of this. And I ended up saying, you know what? I don't trust this thing. If it can't hold up I think I put my stop right below the 220s, like 218. I said, if it breaks down 220 again, I'm just going to be out. And so that's what it happened. It broke down. Still it was a very small loser on those 980 shares. It was a $21 loss, but the first trade was 100 something, so it kind of just knocked off a little bit from it. So it was still an $86 day. But I think next month, what I need to do, I know what I'm looking for to get in. I just need to take the profit when it's there because I left a lot of money on the table. One, this first trade, $400. The second trade, I was up 130 at the maximum at this tip right here, 130. So that's already a $500 day. So I'm like, okay, all I need to do is take profit. Don't worry about it ripping through VWAP or anything like that. If I see the money, I mean, just take it, just take it. But yeah, one of the things that has plagued this strategy all month is my greed, looking for those higher rips and just not getting them. So I took 9 trades this month. 8 of them were green. The last one, this re-entry play, was the only red trade that I had this month. It was a $20 loss. All the other ones, the least that I made on a green trade was $68. And then everything else was over 100, 150, 200 something dollars. So, I just want to continue to work on the strategy and, trade what's obvious. Trade what's obvious and trade what people are actually trading. I really expected, and this thing had a low float too. It had like 1 million shares in the float, so I was definitely expecting a little bit more rip than this. But it's whatever. It was both of them. One was a green trade, and one was a very managed small red trade. So $21 loss is just a little paper cut on what I made this month. So I'm not super upset, but I want to definitely take profit because on every single trade, I saw $300 to $400 on the scoreboard, and I'm like, I'll wait. I'm not gonna take it. I'll wait. So if I take those $300, $400 winners, 9 of those, that's pretty sweet. But yeah, that's gonna be my focus for the upcoming month. Definitely take profit. Take profit. Anyway, at least I'm past the point of, hey, is this strategy consistent? And I'm more like, how can I improve this thing? How can I, you know, really maximize on the gains that are there? But anyway, back to today. MGEL up 410%, SEIB up 49, and AGBA up there at 80%. So we'll see. Top is still up 275%, but very, very low volume. And for these that are low volume and they have huge range, I'm very scared of them. I remember when I first started trading and I saw something like this, I lost a lot of money on big range, low volume. They just the spread. Anytime you have a spread that's, you know, $1.50, and you're market ordering in, it's gonna be bad. It's gonna be bad news. You know, you can get filled anywhere and lose in an instant. So these kind of trades, I'd rather just play the strategy that I've been using and just say, okay, I one thing that I can say is I can definitely resist FOMO. I'm good. I buy dips. If it's going up, I'm like, yep, come on down to some better prices. But greed while in the trade is my biggest weakness. Greed, greed, and I guess the greed and a little bit of FOMO too. Because I'm like, well, I've seen these, you know, I get in at a low price and they rip. So I guess there is a little bit of FOMO within the trade once I enter the trade. So the way that I'm trading now, I try to eliminate all emotions from the trade. That's what I'm trying to do. But while I'm in the trade, I need to continue actively trading and not just get in at a good position and be like, let's see what happens. You know, actively manage the trade while I'm in it, and not so much just be a deer in headlights. Anyway, we'll see what happens today. Today is a Friday. We know that Fridays are usually sell-off days. We'll see what the SPY wants to do today as well. The 400, let's see, it came down here to the 400s, bounced up to the 411s. And let me go and look at those banking stocks. More banking news has been coming out, and we've been seeing the banks take some dips. I'm still waiting on my Schwab to enter some. And these stocks I'm looking at for dividends. So I'm looking for dividend payouts on these. So these will be longer term holders. But we have seen it come down to $48 twice and continue to kind of trend this way towards $48. I'm looking for a little bit of the volume to die down a little bit. And we continue to see banks. We saw FRC, I think that's the one, continue to fall. So I want to know, hey, is this going to continue happening? And what's the strategy to prevent these banks from falling? Other banks I'm looking at: Ally Bank, Bank of America, MS Morgan Stanley, Citibank, Regions Financial, FULT, TFSL, and BBD. BBD. All of these are ones that I'm watching. I also have other dividend stocks here as well in the oil sector and in the asset management. I got one IT, which is the Cisco, and then gold, electricity, and utilities, water. But just kind of waiting to see what some of these want to do. I really, it's going to be a slow entry anyway, but I'm like, hey, I can be patient. There's still news coming out on these. And what I don't want to do is get into these stocks and they have a gap down because news comes out or something like that. Yes, I'm going to be holding long term anyway. And, I might get caught into a gap up or gap down anyway. But I rather limit that possibility and see some better news come out about maybe some of these bank failure preventions. So I am constantly watching the news on that. Let's see. Lori said, yeah, traded that CFRX, and then I think your strategy. Yeah. Yeah, I'm trying to be disciplined at that 10 cent level, but 10 cents it's a good trade on 2,000 shares. It's just 200 quick bucks. Take the 200 and get on out. Donnell says thinking MEGL is sympathy to top. What is MEGL? Let me look. Top MEGL. What does MEGL do? MEGL, financial services, capital markets. Was that what top was? It's in Hong Kong. Another Chinese-based stock. Magic Empire Global Limited. Oh, that sounds like a trap. Magic Empire Global Limited. Magically make your money disappear. Provides initial public offering sponsorship, financial and independent financial advisory, post listing compliance, advisory, and underwriting services to corporations in Hong Kong. The company was incorporated in 2016 and headquartered in central Hong Kong. Okay, so a little bit of business history from 2016, and we're here in 2023. Let's see what those numbers are looking like. So it's got a float of 7.65 million. Does it have any connection to top though? Magic Empire Global full year 2022 earnings was 19 days ago. It had a 23-cent loss per share versus HK 10% profit. Okay, I don't even know what HK is. NASDAQ scrutinizes share allocations after mysterious IPO gains. That was 7 months ago, so that can't be talking about tops. Let's go look at what tops was or top was. I have to say top without the S because tops with the S is top shipping, which is what I thought this thing was at first. I was like, what in the world? Why is it going up right now before summertime? That doesn't make any sense. Usually TOPS pops during like Christmas and high um parcel shipping times is when top shipping pops. Let's see. Top financial first half stock pitch World Cup. Limited announces a 63 and 178 year over year growths. Hong Kong, China. So they're both out of Hong Kong. Yeah. So same place. We look at their profile. Yeah, capital markets, financial services again. So yeah, I really didn't even look at this one yesterday. I was like, yeah, that's not for me. I just glimpsed over there and said, nah, not gonna take my money. Let's jump back over here. It is 8:23. We have about 7 minutes to the bell. I'm thinking we're watching pretty much the things that are going to be active today, especially MEGL. Um, I don't really see a obvious point for it. It looks like it could go either way on MEGL, but I would definitely not use my strategy, which is dip buying. If it's gonna be a momentum stock, just ride the momentum. I don't know if it can get back up here to the 614, but I don't know. SIEB coming on down 40 cents. Yeah, AGBA, these are just not looking good. They're still up 73 cents, but I mean 73%, but just does not look good. TCJH, big wicks already during pre-market, not what we want to see. That's a good way to get caught if you're a breakout buyer. Look at these wicks on the 15-minute. This wick was from 722 down here to 628. Think about that. You got to be quick. Okay. Man, today's going to be wild. I'm going to go ahead and get CFRX off of here. I don't really care about it no more. I already did everything I was going to do with that. So right now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 stocks. Usually on a day that I'm trying to trade, I try to narrow down like maybe 4 stocks, and if they're close, if they're in competition, maybe with volume and with maybe percent gain, and kind of see where they go. But yeah, I try to narrow down my what I'm looking at because just bringing in, looking over 10, 20, 30 stocks, you forget about stocks. You may buy something and forget about it. You may do, it's just a lot to manage. So, limiting and focusing in is the way that I found works for me. Did you see all the big YouTubers promoting Zuzi yesterday? I did not. What is Zuzi? Zuzi. Oh, it did gap up. Let's see if it has any news. It has oh my goodness, look at this volume. Absolutely none. 100,000. So let's see what Zuzi is up to here. Are they circulating the article too? Let's look over here. Zuzi receives follow on volume smart glasses. Okay. So receives follow on volume smart glasses order from Expert Inc. I don't know, to support expanding customer demand. Zuzix delivers volume smart glasses order to Tabara Electronics. No financial terms disclosed. Zuzix delivers. Okay, so I don't know. Let's look into this. Any kind of let's look back a little bit. Okay, acquires software company, leases new manufacturing space. Zuzix signs distribution agreement with L Marks Automation. Receives OEM purchase orders. Says it's seeing growing demand for 4G and 5G smart glasses. Okay. 40,000 operating room virtual sessions. It could, I mean, it could be one to watch. I don't know. Um, I don't really know. Yesterday it took a little bit what looked like a dip from this 413 to 392, but then aftermarket it got active. So let's look at Zuzi. It is consumer electronics based out of New York, United States. Designs, manufactures, markets, and sells augmented reality, wearable display, and computing devices for consumer and enterprise markets in North America, Europe, okay, Asia Pacific, and internationally. It provides M400, M4000 series smart glasses. Okay. So I guess it does have a use in the hospitals doing those, like they said, the hospital examinations or surgeries, being able to see what the doctor sees and kind of record the whole thing to be able to learn from or, give direction for maybe if multiple doctors are watching in and they can kind of talk to the doctor that's working. I don't know. But right now it's up to 426. Oh, market's about to open. Market's about to open. MGEL is gonna be the first one. I put Zuzi up here to see what it does. It may be a longer term play though with Zuzi or Vuzi. I say Zuzi. MEGL. We have 5 seconds until market opens. Let's see how these things react. Okay, market open. MEGL immediately down. And we'll also take a look at tops here as well, because MEGL may be following tops doing the exact same thing. Tops is at 62%, down 10% on the day. But with these big moves, man, I would not trust it. I wouldn't be just willing to short this thing just yet, because it can definitely pop back up here real quick to like, 70, 80 something. Coming back green already. And this is the first minute of the day already trying to bounce. MEGL doing the same exact movement up here. MEGL coming back to the 4. Had a top side up there at the 4. Had some struggle at the 515 and at the 609. Okay, so is top doing that same thing? Yep, top halted upward. We'll see if MEGL ends up halting as well. Right now, the one that's the most up on the day with 14% upward is TCJH, the one with the breakout traps here. So be careful on that one. Okay, SIEB. Okay, we'll see if anything else pops up there. Woozy taking a little trip down back to $4. I mean, you could I don't know, you could play any of these obvious levels of consolidation. 399, it's got one at 373. I mean, you could add a little bit at one consolidation if it drops a little bit more. I don't know, but maybe a longer term play on that one. MEGL. Okay, I don't like the way this one's looking. AGBA might end up falling off the list pretty quick. Jumping over here to the scans, we can see the top volume mover above $1 is M, or above $2. It's MEGL. Amazon right behind it. Well, not right behind it. It's got 10 million shares. Snap, SEB, whatever, FRC, INTC, AGB, Tesla. So we'll see which one wants to get knocked off and which one can hold up on the day. Spy, let's look what Spy's coming up. So Spy's looks like it has a little bit, may try to break this 412 today. Had a previous high back here, which could be a shoulder and a head right here and a shoulder. So we'll see what kind of action comes from that. Does it want to go ahead and break through the 412s to the 413s, or does it want to complete the head and shoulder structure and come back down on a Friday? Okay, MEGL going on down. Let me see when top is unhalting. Top halted at 9:30.50, so should be unhalting at the 35.50. $35.50, and we'll see if MEGL wants to move with it. And this is kind of throwing a wrench in the chain for MEGL, because I believe people were probably going to try to use top to trade MEGL, but with it going into a halt, you don't know what it's going to do next. And so MEGL is in limbo. It's like, okay, do we go up? Do we go down? We don't have top to use. This is just a sentimental play. Do we sell? Do we buy? What do we do? So they're going to be sitting on their hands waiting on top to open here. SCIB going on down. AGBA coming up. 4 million shares traded. Getting a little bounce out there. Look at that. TCJH. Look at that. Just what we saw in pre-market. These wicks down. You gotta pay attention to previous patterns, because they can definitely repeat. This thing ripped down from 914 down here to the $8. A dollar drop there on TCJH. MEGL, people are not confident. Top should be opening here 35.50 if it's a regular halt. So in 20 seconds. Okay, let's see if this thing can actually open here. Here we go. Should be opening now. Maybe a longer halt. And as it's continuing to be halted, look at MEGL without any direction, just selling off. No direction there. Down 17% on the day. Look at that. People losing all faith. They saw top not open. They were like, ooh, this may not be too good. Okay. AGBA halting. This may be a halting day. So be very careful in whatever you're getting into, because halts all around. TJ TCJH halted down. So yeah, halts all around. Be careful. And it's days like this, I always think about the PDT rule and doing the 3 trades a week and all of that in a 5-day rolling period. It's definitely possible. A lot of people complain about PDT and all that, but PDT actually makes you focus in on minimizing the amount of trades that you have to take to win. And that's what I realized. Like, I've been taking 2 trades a week and making some okay profits on them. So I'm like, I could definitely, if I size up with this. Now I don't know if I ever want to use margin. Like, I like trading with my own money. Um it's just, I don't know. I just feel like I have more I, um I don't know if it's respect, or I don't know what the word would be, but I just like trading with my own stuff. Margin, I don't know, man. I was talking to One Life about margin accounts and stuff like that, and he was like, "Yeah, man, go ahead and get on margin and all that, blah blah blah." Like, I don't know, man. I don't know, man. I just like seeing me grow my own money is very nice. I guess if I was, and the other thing about it, you always have to keep up. I don't know how margin works with taxes. I don't know if you still pay. Like, let's say if I did get a margin account and I made, like, I don't know how much money. How much would the fees be? How much would I got a lot of research to do into margin accounts to actually consider it, but I understand cash accounts very well. T2 rule, stick to it, stay consistent, get over 25K. Boozy going on down 410. Top has still not opened yet. Spy going on up. See if they can get that 413 up there. Okay, we got a couple of stocks catching up with MEGL in the volume, which is Amazon, Snap, Intel, and FRC, running right up behind MEGL. So if it continues to lose volume, it's not going to be too good for it. Down almost 20% on the day, so which makes me think, will top open up a lot lower with this fallout? The first one was 35.50, so this one should be opening. Top should be, if this is a 10-minute halt, it should be opening up on the 40.50 in about 30 seconds, 40 seconds. Yep, sitting on the, yeah, it's a lot of danger out here. I feel like I'm in Jurassic Park. There's dinosaurs that I ain't even seen out here. Let's see what happens. Top, wow, look at that slam down on top. Let's see if it continues down like MEGL did. Or will MEGL react to top going upward? Let's see. 55, So that drop was from 71 to $55. So think about it. If you bought this thing right at the open, you're now down $20 per share and into, is it going into another halt? Halt. Yep. Back into a halt. So MEGL, that was confirmation for them, and they're about to dump. So down 29% on top, 28% on MEGL. Low floats not looking great today. A lot of downwards movements. Like I said, the shorts coming in, making that profit before the weekend so they can go on their nice trips, vacations, and everything else while everybody, all the longs cry. So yeah, I'm glad, and that's one thing about looking for your strategy. Like on the days that I see my strategy, I go for it. And it ends up the days after that, it's almost like a cool down period on days that I shouldn't be trading. So the days that I make money and then the days that I miss because my money needs to clear or whatever, those days are usually horrible and I don't see my strategy. So this day right here is one example of that. None of these I would touch. None of these dips I'm looking to buy. You know what I mean? You're just gonna buy a falling knife. Now, somebody will be crazy enough to do it, but not I. Not I. I want to use the market as a money spitting machine. That's it. If I ever get the heart to donate to somebody, then I just come and press the buy button and hope that things work out. Okay, Boozy back down to $4. Nice, definitely a nice little fall from 425. Very quick down here to the 406. Not a lot of volume down here, but coming into the first consolidation level we were looking at here, I guess we can go midpoint there, $4, and then it's got another one down here at 373. So I wonder, I guess you could just watch it in between this level $4 and 375 to see if it holds anywhere for a longer term play. But I would just be doing more watching than anything today. Whoa, top down to 48 bucks from 260 down to 48 bucks. I would hate to have been trading this thing in aftermarket and held those shares. Oh my goodness. You would have woke up, let's say if you were trading around 171, 200. I don't even want to think about it. I don't even want to think about it. Disgusting. AGBA still halted. When's this thing gonna unhalt? Is this another 10-minute halt? It halted at 9:35. Should be opening up here at the 45:53, which is in like a minute. So nothing really looking fantastic today for us in the low float area. Think about Monday, man. If these things are already going down like this, man, aftermarket is gonna be crazy with people dumping. Crazy. They're gonna be like, man, I do not want to hold this thing over the weekend. Wake up on Monday morning, this thing is down at $12. Okay, 45.53 coming up for AGBA. Let's see how it opens if this is a 10-minute halt. Got about less than 15 seconds. Here we go, AGBA. Or my bad, it's 53. My bad. It should be opening up at the 53. There it is. Open a little bit higher there. 387. Coming up there. Getting a push. Fours. Wow. What in the world? I think that's going back into a halt. So opened up 350. Back up. Oh, false halt. False halt. Will it continue to the 475? Okay, looks like the real halt. Only 6 million shares traded on the day. MEGL trying to give a little relief. Some of the shorts covering from this nice win. Okay, back in the house for AGBA and CJ. So yeah, today is pretty much like let us get back all the money that you made during the week. And also this is the end of the month. This is the last trading day of the month as well. So yeah, it's gonna be funky. People are definitely gonna be manipulating at the end of the month. Or I say people, institutions definitely. Very interesting. Okay. AGBA about to fall off their top 10 movers. None of the low floats really looking good. Down 17%. I mean, just everything just red right now. Let's look at the market watch. So pretty, I would say that's an even mix of red and green, but there are definitely some hot sectors. T-Mobile going down pretty nice. Hmm. Well, glad I am safe on the sidelines. 30 million shares traded on something that's going down like that. Mm-mm-mm. On the other scanner, I see, let's see, we got a couple of movers upwards. G-Sun, let's check some of the news on these. G-Sun, no news, up 45%. It's lower volume, so it won't show up on this top 10 volume movers. TPST, Temperance Therapeutics says early results for phase 1B study. What is this for? Some kind of weird drug they're working on for hepatocellular carcinoma. So it's a cancer drug right there, up 80%. TPST. And then everything else, I don't think they had Catalyst. I think the only two that had Catalyst was SIEB and TPST. But looking at the competition on the board, we got things that are doubling and tripling those numbers. So not looking too good for any kind of continuation for today. They do have high relative volume deviations. If you look at TPSD, the relative volume deviation is really high. Anything over 5 is high. This has 7.66. AGBA has 7.63. MEGL, these are those high relative volumes. You hear a lot of people talk about, oh yeah, make sure it has, unusual relative volume, and that's what they're talking about. If it has over 5, it's pretty high. Okay, back over here. TPST grinding higher, trying to come back green on the day. I mean, it does have cancer news, but that volume, people just are not interested right now. Top in another halt up. So yeah, this is gonna be a halting day. I wouldn't even risk my capital on a day like this. There'll be another day to trade. Well, there'll be a whole nother month to trade. Don't go out today in red. You know, definitely don't bleed where you don't have to. And I really, on days like this, I wonder, a lot of times they say, well, there'll be lighter volume on a day like this as the last day of the month, but there seems to be plenty of volume. And I'm wondering like who's profit taking on this? Who's like I don't know any institutions that will be trying to trade something this unsafe, you know? Who's profiting? Is it just retail playing around? Looking at the intraday size of these candles, I'm thinking retail is probably the only thing that's moving this because it's got huge movements down, 459 down here to 286, and then this little pop up from 307 up here to 374. Of course this candle hasn't closed, but I don't know, it's just got more momentum to the downward, the downside. And so because there's so many questions about why this thing's moving and how this thing's moving, it's probably a good reason to just observe. Get that visual capital going. If I took 2 shares here, how much would I lose? TPSD throwing some very long wicks as well. Don't really trust that. So yeah, pretty much seen what the market has today. I dropped the Discord link to anybody. Oh, Donnell called out CXAI. Did not see that. CXAI up 14. Oh, 14%. 14%. We'll see if people were opening up their scans right now. How deep in the hole would CXAI be? Like you got a 200% mover up here, 176, 77%, 50%. Do you think their eyes would get caught on a 12% one? A lot of people? I don't know. I don't know. And plus, it's barely up since the open, up 4% since the open. We got things up 69%, 10%, a lot of other stuff to look at. Top still at 55, halted up. Okay. But let me drop that Discord link real quick that I always forget to open. I'm also streaming on Twitter for the first time today. So I've been streaming on YouTube and Twitch, streaming on Twitter today just to see how it does. I really, I do my analysis. What I see is what I see. The Discord is pretty much where everything else goes, other than Twitter, YouTube, and Twitch. But yeah, we'll see how it goes. Let me go and what was I trying to do? Oh, Discord. Sometimes I have those moments where I'm like, I'm focused on doing something and then I forget what I'm trying to do in the moment. Like, what was I doing? What's wrong with me? All right, so yeah, drop the Discord link. Of course, Discord is where we continue any conversations, but today I don't know if there'll be any conversations. I don't know who is going to be trading on this last Friday of the month. Really hardcore. Maybe somebody will. Maybe let's look up here at the TQQ and SQQ. See where those are floating. Will somebody? Because I know Rooster likes to trade these TQQ, SQQ on days like this. Let's see what they're doing. Not really much. SQQ coming on down. TQQ coming on up. Lot of shares out here on this level too. Wow. 33. Look at all these thousands of shares. Look, what would be? I don't know. That's kind of crazy. The SPY is pushing for that 413 level that we marked over there on the daily chart. Continues to try to play around that level. We'll see if it actually ends up breaking. But as of now, we pretty much seen what we need to see. Avoided the sharks in the water, and you know, if better opportunities come on another day, great. But I think for the most part for today, people are going to be focusing on an MEGL taking quite a bit of a bounce back up there, but doesn't look like it's going to be breaking any highs soon. Um, yeah, still red on the day. Yeah, CIX was up 20% and then just dropped. Yeah. Still 20% is still a questionable level. Plus with this obvious level of resistance, look at this level of resistance that you could short at right here. Many times this has been tested. So yeah, it could break, but today's Friday, usually a sell-off day. What's the probability of it breaking this level of $13 today? I think it's pretty low. As a matter of fact, it's tested it more than that. It's tested 1, 2, 3 times. So this will be a fourth test of that level. Okay, top back up to 66. Anyway, I'm gonna go give me some breakfast. And I'm gonna do some reviewing of my trades of this month. And yeah, I'll be back next month. So I'm using the same strategy, but I want to take profit. Too many times I'm giving back, ending up with, you know, 150 bucks when I got 500 on the plate. It's almost like, you know, you eat a piece of chicken and you leave all this meat on the bone and just throw it away. And you're just sitting there with one bite. That's what I feel like after most of my trades. I'm like, why did I leave all that on the table? But yeah, that's it for today's stream. I'm not gonna sit here and watch all this chop and drop and all of that. I'm gonna go and get some other things done today. You guys, if you're gonna continue trading, be careful. If you put anything in Discord, I probably will respond. I'll probably be around, just working. But yeah, that's it for today. Appreciate you guys for tuning in. Lori, Donnell, and whoever else jumped in. But yeah, that's it. And as always, I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.